time. You think you know it, right? It ticks on the wall, moves forward, drags you from morning to night, from youth to old age. But what if everything you believe about time is wrong? What if time isn't linear at all? Think of a flip book, each page a single moment. We flip through them in order, one by one, but what if every page already exists? Past, present, future, all there, all at once. Quantum physicists suggest that time is more like a loaf of bread, with each slice representing a moment. And you're just the knife, moving through it. Imagine this. Somewhere in the loaf, you're still a kid learning to ride a bike. Somewhere else, you're already an old man, holding the hands of your grandchildren. And here you are, stuck in the slice called now. But what if you could break free? What if you could flip through the pages, not just forward, but backward and sideways too? Einstein said time is relative, and that means it's flexible, bendable, even breakable. You've felt it, haven't you? Those moments when a minute feels like an hour, or when hours slip by in what feels like seconds. What's really happening there? Maybe you're moving through the loaf at a different speed. Maybe you're glimpsing another slice. Maybe time isn't a straight line at all. It's a spiral, a web, a vast, interconnected network of moments, and you're the one weaving through it. Now, let's talk about memory. You think memory is a function of the past, right? A dusty old file cabinet full of things that happened. But what if memory is more like a time machine? Scientists have found that the same regions of the brain light up when you remember the past and when you imagine the future. Why? Because your mind doesn't know the difference. To your brain, every memory is still happening right now. Ever smelled a certain perfume and been instantly transported back to a moment from 10 years ago? That's your mind stepping into another slice of the loaf, another page of the flip book. But what about déjà vu? That eerie feeling you've lived this moment before. Maybe you have. Maybe you're not just remembering a past event, but glimpsing a parallel timeline. A different slice of the loaf where things played out almost exactly the same. And what about intuition? That gut feeling, that flash of insight. What if that's not just instinct, but a message from your future self? What if the future you is sending information back to guide you, to warn you, to nudge you toward the best version of your life? Because if all moments exist at once, then your future self is already out there, experiencing everything you're about to live. And if time isn't linear, maybe the line between then and now isn't as solid as you think. Ever heard of time dilation? Imagine you're on a spaceship, traveling near the speed of light. To you, only a year passes, but back on Earth, decades slip by. Einstein proved it, time stretches and compresses depending on your speed and gravity. But what does that mean for you, sitting here right now? Well, think about your daily life. When you're bored, time drags. When you're in flow, it flies. Maybe you're not traveling at light speed, but your mind is. You're bending time without even realizing it. And then there's the dream state. Ever had a dream that felt like hours, only to wake up and realize you were asleep for 5 minutes? In dreams, you step outside of time. You experience entire lifetimes, entire worlds in the blink of an eye. What if that dream state isn't just your brain processing random data, but your mind stepping outside the loaf, flipping through pages out of order? Maybe when you dream, you're not just imagining things, you're traveling. You're exploring alternate timelines, other versions of you, other possibilities. And what if those dreams are trying to tell you something? What if they're glimpses of roads you could take, lives you could live, versions of you that exist in other slices of the loaf? Now, let's talk about synchronicity. Ever had a moment when things lined up so perfectly it felt like the universe was winking at you? You think of an old friend, and they call you the next day. You see the same number everywhere you go. You hear a song that answers the exact question you were just thinking about. Coincidence? Maybe. Or maybe it's a sign that time isn't as solid as you think. Carl Jung called it synchronicity. meaningful coincidences that have no logical cause and affect relationship but are deeply connected. What if those moments are cracks in the illusion of linear time? What if, in those moments, the threads of the web are aligning, showing you a glimpse of how all moments connect? Think of it like this: you're a spider in a massive web. Every choice you make pulls a thread, sending vibrations across the entire structure. You feel the ripple from a future event before it even happens. You sense the echo of a past moment as if it's still unfolding. That feeling of déjà vu, maybe that's just you catching a glimpse of the web from a different angle. Maybe you're seeing how everything is already connected. And maybe, just maybe, those synchronicities are nudges from other versions of you, reminding you that time is not a line but a web, and every strand is connected. So, if time is not a straight line, not a river carrying us from cradle to grave, but rather a vast, complex, interconnected web of moments, what does that mean for you right now? It means that every decision you make, every thought you entertain, every word you speak, is not just a single event in isolation. It's a ripple in the web, a strand that connects to countless others, echoing across the past, present, and future. Think of every action you take as a stone dropped into a still pond, each one creating ripples that extend outward, touching every moment of your existence. And if you're truly part of this vast web of time, then you're not just a passenger being carried forward. You're a creator, a weaver, a shaper of moments. You have the power to choose which strands to strengthen, which timelines to align with. You can look back and learn from your past selves, connect with the wisdom of your future self, and align your present actions to the timeline that brings you the most fulfillment, the most purpose, the most meaning. But there's a catch. If every action echoes across time, then what about the times when we feel stuck, when it seems like we're repeating the same mistakes over and over? Maybe those are moments when we're caught in a loop, replaying a timeline that we haven't yet learned to break free from. But the good news: every moment offers a chance to shift the narrative, to make a new choice, to create a new ripple in the web. Time is not your enemy. It's your canvas. It's not something you're running out of. It's something you're creating. Every moment is an opportunity to rewrite the narrative, to shift the course of your life, to step into the version of you that you most want to be. Because in the end, the hidden truth about time isn't that it's running out. The hidden truth is that it's always here, waiting for you to notice it, to use it, to shape it into the life you truly desire. You think you've seen it all? Think again. The world is full of secrets, hidden truths, and mind-bending realities waiting to be uncovered. What if everything you believe is just the beginning? Hit subscribe, and let's keep unraveling the mysteries that could change everything.